Hey, good morning, everybody. Today we're going to be discussing our verb practice exercise, as well as we're going to be looking at some indirect and direct speech today. Right, so just to go through the verb activity that I gave you guys the other day, let's look at a few questions, right? So the first question says convert the words in brackets into the simple present perfect tense. Okay, so for example, Charles taste, it will become Charles has tasted guacamole before. And what is this? How is this present perfect? Well, first of all, in perfect tense, it's always the action is always in the past, right? It's completed, it's finished, etc. And the word has tells me that it's in the present. Okay, so we already baked will become we have already baked, right? Bake the cake. Number two, have you ever been to Italy? I have seen pictures of the town, right? The voters elect, the voters have elected a new governor. She has made acceptance speech, blah blah blah. The package I sent to Pablo has not arrived yet. Right. He has not called the post office every day. I don't know what happened. Right. Simple present perfect continuous tense. So if you are in grade 9, then this one applies to you. If you are in grade 7 or in grade 8, this one will actually in grade 8 this will apply to you. If you are in grade 7, this will not apply to you, right? So grade 8 and grade 9, listen up. So if you have, for example, he has been waiting on, he wait, right? And you need to change that into the simple present perfect continuous tense. Now, can you see there are two types of tenses required here? Two types of changes. The first one is you need to change it to perfect tense. And the second change you need to make is that you need to put it into continuous tense, right? Continuous tense is a tense that is ongoing. It's an action that hasn't yet been completed, right? Or is yet to be completed. And perfect tense is an action that that has been completed. So it's kind of like a paradox being put together. So, for example, he waits. He has been waiting, and it has because it's in the present tense. So, Edward. Okay, so this is a question. Right. Okay, so for number one, I'm not sure. I think I made a mistake with this one, guys. So if you know the answer, just let me know. But yeah, just ignore number one. Let's go on to number two. Mahmoud and Ricky are dirty. They have been playing outside all day. You and here. Okay, have you been hearing the news? Right, that's how you would put it into present perfect continuous. Have you been hearing the news? There was a terrible earthquake in Haiti. The residents need a lot of help. Igor has wanted to visit Paris for years. He has been saving his money for plane tickets. He has almost saved. I would say he has almost been saving enough. That makes sense. Okay, so going back to grade 7, 8, and 9. So you need to convert the words in brackets into the past perfect tense. All right. Guys, if you, for grade 8 and 9, if you were unable to complete the previous activity properly, Pardon me, I've seen that I've made a few mistakes there. It's even a bit complicated for me to complete. So don't worry about that. But the rest of the activity should be relatively easy. For example, before the horse broke his leg, he had usually been running, right? But it's the past perfect tense, so it's actually supposed to be he has usually ran, right? Jill knew that her friend Sasha had felt sad lately, and I see that in the grade 7 practice. I see that there's something different here. Or is it the same? No, it's actually the same thing, right? Yeah, so has felt, okay, and if you're changing it to the past continuous, then it would be has been feeling. Sasha's mother has died, right, 2 months before, and the two friends not have. So have not, right, or if you're putting it in continuous, have not been having a chance to talk since it happened. Sasha arrived at Jill's house at 3 o'clock on Saturday afternoon. Jill had called or had been calling her friend. Sasha guessed that Jill will have baked, right? Or it will be, because it's in the past, it will be had baked, all right? Or if you want to make it continuous tense, it would be had been baking, right? The women talked for a couple of hours. They always enjoy. That would become they had always enjoyed each other's company and they were happy to see each other again. Sasha recalled some of the things that she found. So she had found as she had sorted through her mother's belongings. We've seen that for some time. Before mother died, she had made, right, so until the end of this, right, guys? I'm not going to do all that. Okay, next exercise, fill in the spaces with the correct form of the verb in simple future tense. Example, Ling is going to paint a picture for the art fair, right? Now, I am not sure why I've given it to you guys in this form. Maybe I don't know what was happening that day. But anyway, so if it's simple future tense, it's easy. So Ling will paint. That's it. Right? It's that easy, guys. So Drew and I will run, right? The department store will have. The nurse bandage will have bandage, not bondage, bandage. Fill in the spaces with the correct form of the verb in the future continuous tense, right? Sarah is going to be running a marathon Saturday. Professor Baker will be teaching. I will be cleaning or am going to be cleaning, right? The forecast says that it will be raining. Okay, then you also need to change this into future continuous tense. So an example is, will you be shopping tomorrow? Is Kevin going to be driving? So will you be feeding the dogs while mom is in the hospital? Will Jacob be searching for a new job soon? Will Whitney and Megan be putting up the decorations? Will Claire be paying the caterer today? Will the boys be playing soccer this afternoon? Right? That's simple. Let's see if there's anything in the grade 7 worksheet that I haven't covered. Yeah, I think that's about it, guys. Okay, then moving on to today's activity, what I want you guys to do. So let's look a little bit at direct and indirect speech, right? So just say I want you to convert a sentence from direct speech to indirect speech. This is how I want you to do it. So remember, this is how direct speech looks, right? It's exactly what someone says, put into quotation marks. And we know the tense of the sentence by looking at the introductory verb, which is like remarked, said, asked, etc. So when we're putting it into indirect speech, we need to keep the tense as well. So come in, remarked the lady, take a seat. The lady remarked that I should come in and take a seat. Right, guys? It's that simple. What sports do you play? He asked. He asked me what sports I play, right? Or played. He asked me what sports I played. Or what sports I played, rather. Mark, where have you put my bat? Asked Sam. So Sam asked Mark where he has put his bat, right? Where he has placed his bat, whatever. Number 4, will you show me the way to town? She inquired. She inquired whether I would, remember the word will becomes would, show her the way to the town. Okay, now we need to change from indirect speech to direct speech, and this is, I think, a little bit more challenging than the previous one. So now it's in indirect speech, right? It's in reported speech. Someone has already said this, and now we need to change it to direct speech, which is basically what someone is saying in that moment, right? So he asked what I wanted to do that night. He asked, oops, what do you want to do tonight? Make sure that you have a capital in the beginning. Make sure that you have this kind of format, right? So that night, just like that day, becomes tonight or today. And then remember that everything in the brackets is happening in the moment, right? John asked if we could run then. John asked, can we run? Can we run now, right? So remember that now changes to then, and vice versa, right? Because if you have to change the sentence into indirect speech, then you would say, John asked if or whether we could run then, right? So you're just swapping it around. Choop, choop. He inquired whether I knew why Roger went away. So it will go like this. He inquired, do you know why Roger went away? Right, guys, you see how you like kind of swapping everything around, right? Okay, so for this lesson, what you guys are going to do for me is you are going to look at the activity I've given on Google Classroom and complete that and submit before the end of the period. Okay. Have an awesome one.